Hi everyone. The problem now that we are going to solve involves the input table as matches. This table has below columns the match date. It is the date when the match took place. So we can consider this to be any match, whether it is a cricket match, football match, or any other sport that you like. Then we have the team name, the team opponent, and the match status. So this match status is with respect to the team name, whichever team is mentioned here. So for example, this match took place on 13th Feb between New Zealand and South Africa, and this status is with respect to New Zealand. So New Zealand lost the match and South Africa won it. Similarly, taking another example, this match took place on 25th Feb played between Sri Lanka and Australia, which Sri Lanka lost. Okay, so all the status that we see is with respect to the team name. Now, what we need to do is we need to, as part of the output, get the results of the last three matches only for each team. Okay, so for example, talking about say New Zealand, so the last three matches of New Zealand are held on 25th Feb, 29th Feb, and 8th of July, in which the performance was first match New Zealand won, then again the second match it won the match, and the latest match is the no result status. So the output that is shown is for New Zealand the last three matches status is won, no result. Similarly, taking another example for Sri Lanka. So the last three matches of Sri Lanka are held on 25th Feb, 27th, sorry, 27th Feb is the first match in talking about the last three matches, then 29th Feb and 21st July. So among these last three matches, the first match Sri Lanka lost, second match won, and last match also won. So its status should be lost, won. So that is what we see in the output. And if there is any country with lesser than three matches, we have to show the status of either two matches or one matches, whichever they have played. So for example, for India, there is only one match that is available, and this match was won by India. So its status will show only win here. Similarly, for Pakistan, it has among the entries, there are two entries only present here. That is this match and this match. And in both the cases, it has lost. So first match it lost against India, and second match it lost against Sri Lanka. So its status will be loss. Okay, so this way we have to show the status of latest three matches for each of the country. Okay, and talking about the match status, so there are four status that is possible. Either a team can win the match, the team can lose the match, there can be no result in the match, or it can be a tie. So these are the four status that we are looking for. Okay, so now let's work on the approach that we can take to solve this problem to reach to this output. So what we will do is let's copy the input table into an Excel sheet and try to understand what approach we can take. Okay. So now if we focus here, the input data. So in the input data is with respect to the team name. So let's highlight that. So this status is with respect to only this team name. So what we will do is and consider this column as well. So what we will do is whatever columns are highlighted, let's take those. So we will take only these because only this status is correctly reflecting with respect to the team name. That is, on 13th Feb, New Zealand lost the match, or any status that we see on 25th Feb, New Zealand won the match. So from this status, we can clearly get to know what is the status of this team. But for the team opponent, from this status, we cannot clearly say that this is the right status. Like in this case, South Africa won the match. So ideally, this status needs to be reversed for the teams that are present in team opponent column. So it needs to be reversed in case of won and lost status. Okay, in case of won and lost, it needs to be reversed, but not in case of no result or tie, because that will be the same status for both the countries that are present. So to deal with this, what we will do is, first of all, we will take this match column, match date column. We will take the team opponent column, and now when we are taking this column, match status, when we are taking this column, we will work on to reverse the status. So what we will say is, if the match status is lost, then make it won. Okay. If the status that is shown here, oh, I have we have to like make the column name here. So that is this column. So if I15 is okay. So in Excel we have to give double quotes every time we give a string. So let's add that double quote. This is just to show how it works. Okay, so we have to reverse the status. So wherever it is lost status, we have to convert it into a won status, because that will be the right status. Similarly, wherever it is a won status, wherever the other country has won, for this country it will be the lost status. Okay, so this way we have to reverse the status wherever it is won or lost, but for no result it will remain as it is, or even if it was a tie, it will remain as it is. So this will be the right status with respect to the opponent team. Okay, I'll just remove this. Now we have reversed the status, and we will be using this reverse status. So now if we see this, on 25th Feb, South Africa lost the match. But from the input table, on 25th Feb, there is no status for South Africa. The status is only with respect to New Zealand. So now we have the status for both the countries together, the main team and the opponent team. What is the next step? So next step, what we will do is, we will just merge these two data. Just delete this, shift cells up. Okay, we will merge these two data. So now we have the status with respect to each and every country. So after that, what is the thing that we will do is, we will focus on each country. Okay, and we will focus only on the latest three entries that are present. So for example, talking about Australia, the latest three entries that are present are won, lost, so that we will use this to show the status as WWL, something like WWL for Australia, because that is its status in the last three matches. And for this we will use row number. Okay, so when we write the query, then we will see this. So this way we will approach this problem, and ultimately after merging, we will focus on only the last three entries of each of the country to derive the final solution. Okay, so having formulated the approach, let's start writing the query, wherein we will fetch the three columns only for the main team. For the opponent team, we will get the match date, we will get the opponent team, and we will reverse the status. Okay, wherever it is won, we will make it lost. Wherever it is lost, we will make it won, and no result and tie, we will keep as it is. And then we will merge these two, and then focus only on three entries for each of the country. Okay, so let's write the query. Okay, So now we will operate on this input table, that is matches. And like we said, we will just get the three columns: match date, team name, and match status. So just let's run this and do it step by step. So let's run this. So we have the status for the main country. This data is same as the input table. Now what we will do is, let's write the query for the opponent team. That is match date, we will have it. We will have the team opponent. These two columns we will pick from this matches table. Now for the status, we need to reverse. So what we will do is, we will use a case condition. Okay. So when the match status is won, okay, when the other country has won, then for this country it is lost status. Okay. Similarly, when the match status is lost, overall status is lost for this team name, for this country it is a win. Okay, so then the status will be won here. Otherwise, we will retain the status as it is. This is with respect to the match tie or match is having no result. Okay, so this way we will reverse the match status. Let's call it match status itself here, and let's just run this part. Okay, we will just comment this out just to see along with the input table. Let's run this part and see the data. Okay, so now we have created the status with respect to the opponent team. So let's focus here. So for example, 13th Feb. 13th Feb for South Africa, the status is a win. So the lost has been converted to won status. Similarly, let's take another example. On 25th Feb, the status for Australia is a win. So on 25th Feb, the status has been changed to win. So likewise, we have the status reversed for the match opponent, so that it reflects the right status for this opponent team. Okay, so this is done. So now what we will do is, we will merge, as we saw while discussing in the Excel sheet, we will merge these two output, that is the status of the main team and status of the opponent team. And for that, let's use union all. We will use union all operation to merge these two data. So we have the data merged. So what, let's do this. Let's have it as part of a CTE. The merge operation that is created, let's have it as a part of a CTE. Let's call it as match CTE. Okay, so this is what we have. And then let's see the data, how it looks. Okay, from this match CTE that we have just created. And also let's order by the uh, country, so as to see how the status looks like for that country. Okay, so we will see based on the country, and then its match date. Sorry, we'll see the match date. Based on the match date, we will do the ordering. And for now, let's see all the columns. So let's run this and see the output. Okay, so now we have status of each of the country for the matches that they have played. Okay, so for example, Australia, we have the proper status with respect to whether it won or lost on the matches that it played. Okay, so that details we have. Another thing is, in the final result, we want the status in terms of single character. Like lost, we need L; for won, we need W; for no result, we need N. So let's create a column that will be kind of a short status that will show only one character representing the match status. So for that, what we will do is, we will use a case condition. We will check the match status. Okay, so we are operating on this data we just created. So if it is won, then it will be W. Okay, if the match status is a lost, it will be L. If the match status is a no result, then it will be N. If the match status is tie, it will be T. And let's keep any other status if we receive, let's keep it U, indicating unknown status. So this will be the short status that we have generated now. Okay. So now let's run this and see how the data looks like. So we have just added a new column, which is kind of a short status, and it will show the status as a single character for each of the status that are there. So now what we need to do is, for each of the country, we need to focus only on the latest 3 matches. We are not concerned about the other matches that they have played, just the last 3 matches that they have played. Okay. So for that, what we will do is, we will use a row number. Okay. So we will use a row number window function to check on the status. We will, so to find that, what we will do is, we will, so we have to find different ranking for each of the country. So we will partition based on the team name, and we will order based on the date. So we will order in the descending order, such that the latest date will have rank 1, then rank 2, then rank 3, and so on. Okay, so that way we can focus only on the entries where the rank will be between 1 and 3. Okay, so let's write this. Let's add this new column, that is row number, or over specifying the window. So we will partition based on the team name, and we will order by the match date, and we have to do it in the descending order, so that the latest date is at the top. It gets rank 1, then the next latest date gets rank 2, and so on. So let's call it as the latest date rank. Let's call it this column name, and let's run it again just to see the output. Okay, so this is the output that we have now. So with this rank now, for each of the country, if we see, we can just focus on the entries where this latest date rank is between 1 and 3. Okay, between 1 and 3. For countries who have played less matches, again we have to focus between 1 and 3. So for such countries, only whichever entries are available, those will be picked. For the countries who have played many more matches, for them we have to eliminate the other entries and just focus on the latest 3 matches. Okay, so this is what we have got. Now we have to just eliminate the other entries and focus only on the required data. So what we will do is, so let's add this as part of a CTE. Okay, so let's call the CTE as match status. So remember that whenever we write an inner query or a CTE, we cannot have a order by clause inside it. Okay, so we will just get that removed, and now we will operate on this data that we just generated, that is match status CTE. Okay, and what do we need to focus on? We need to focus on only the columns where the latest date rank is less than equal to 3. Okay, other entries we can eliminate, and for now let's keep all the columns and see the data once. Okay, so we will order based on the team name followed by the match date, and let's see the data how it looks. Okay, so now we are nearing to the solution. So we have just now reduced the data, and now we only have the data of interest with us. Okay, only the last 3 matches that the country has played is there with us. Okay, now as part of the last phase, what we need to do, for each of the country, we just need to get this status as part of a single string. So for example, for Pakistan, it will be LL. For Sri Lanka, it will be LW. So it will be uh, LWW. Okay, because they have lost the first match, and then they have won. So LWW will be the status. For New Zealand, so New Zealand we will see once. So for New Zealand, it will be won, no result, as no result is the last match that they have played. So for this, we will do a aggregation. We will do the group by on this country column, and then use the string aggregate function to aggregate these values together and use a delimiter as hyphen. Okay, so let's get that done. Okay, so what we will do is, as discussed, we will do a grouping. So we will do the grouping based on the team name. Based on the team name, we will do the grouping. So in the output, we will have the team name. We will use the string act function to aggregate this short status. So we are operating on this data. We will aggregate this short status, and we will use the delimiter as hyphen. So this will be the latest match status, and or match date is no longer part of this as we have aggregated the data. Okay, so this is the output that we get now. Okay, now there is one issue here. So it is showing the order in the other way. Like for example, New Zealand. For New Zealand, they have won, and then it is no result. So the order has to be changed. So for that, we will use the reverse function to reverse the order, so that we get the right order the way we are looking for. Okay, so now we have the data. Let's check it out. So this is the final output that we have. So let's check it for a couple of examples to see if we have got the right data now. So for example, for New Zealand, the last three matches, if we see the status, so it is this match, and this match. So they have won, and no result. So won, no result. Let's check for Sri Lanka. So for Sri Lanka, the last three matches are this, then this, and this. So it is lost, won, and won. So it is lost, won, and won. Similarly, for India, there is only one match which it has won. It is this one. So the status is won. So we have identified the right results, and the solution that we have devised, we have obtained the final output the way we wanted. Okay, showing the last three matches the status to the user. Okay, so let's see the query that we wrote. Okay, so this is the query that we wrote, and just to summarize, what we did is we took the three columns, that is match date, team name, and match status. This match status was representing the status with respect to this team, so it was having the right status. So we took this part. For the other part, we took the match date, the opponent team, and reversed the status, because the status was with respect to team name. So for the opponent team, the status had to be reversed for won and lost status, and the other status for tie and no result, it was kept as it is. And then we merged these two data. After that, what we did is we created a short status based on each of these statuses. We just created one character status, and we used a ranking. So we used a ranking wherein we partition based on the team name, and we order based on the date in descending order. And after that, we have kept only the three status of each of the countries, and got the status aggregated using the string act function. So this way we have obtained the result. So please go through it. And if you think that there is any alternate solution, please post it in the comments. Okay? And if you found this video useful, please like the video. And if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe the channel. Thank you.